Recording, testing, 1 2 5 6 1 2 5 1 2 4 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. Right, welcome to another flight from a stormy Lisbon, Portugal. Beacon lights on, nav lights on, pitot heats on, anti-ice is on, auto ignition window heat, flight directors on. Let me just check the sound balance on this flight, okay. Pressure is 1015, it says there. Okay, so and on here it says 993, so that's bullshit, isn't it? So why is this wrong? Right, when the weather's goddamn wrong, so I'm going to have to put it in manually. It's always the case on Xplane, the weather's always wrong. Every fucking time. Right, so anyway, we've got wind, right, pressure 1015. Clouds, few clouds at what's that? That's wind. So wind, yeah, wind is 6 knots from the northwest. Clouds, few at 3000. Few cumulus clouds at 3000. It says cumulate numbers on it, but yeah, whatever. Right, so just have to leave it at that, I think. 1015 pressure. Alright, so wait, no, APU should be on. Okay, flight plan time. I'm going to sniff super loudly and frequently, unfortunately. So, flight plan time. LPPT to Lepa. Or Palma de Mallorca. Just find it. God, I didn't know L was this far down. L, P. God. My God. Right. Push back, please. Yo.
Push cart coming.
So we're in the 6600 jet today, which is we'll take a look at very soon. Excuse me. As soon as we get our pushback, and I put 35,000 feet cruising altitude in, we'll take a look outside.
Here we go.
This is a custom twin jet airliner with low bypass ratio engines, so it's a bit less efficient, but it would be from about the 1970s, maybe early 70s.
You paid the fuel bill, right?
This visibility on here looks insane. Like, I mean, I'm not sure how we're going to find the way to the runway on here. Is that actually how bad it is? I don't believe it is, no. It says 10 kilometers or more, so we've got to change it. Because it's definitely not like that. What the hell? What on earth is this shit? Alright, whatever. 10. Because that's not even changed. Very odd. So... well, we're just stuck with it then, are we? Okay. That's just insane. Insanely stupid. Seriously. Yeah, I'm not happy with this. I don't know why it won't update this. Because it's wrong. Like... yeah, this visibility is wrong. So... and it won't change it. Even if I put like unlimited visibility, what is going on with this? Seriously. It's absolute nonsense. The weather on Xplane is so broken. Alright, we have to turn right, I think. Just absolutely broken as fuck. It really pisses me off, to be honest with you. Of course, if you went on the Xplane forum and said this, they'd tell you it's your fault, like that, you know, miserable old pricks on that forum, innit? So, not mentioning any names, but you know the ones. Like Flaps 10. Like every time anybody says something about anything on the Xplane forum, it's always like, oh, you've probably done this wrong. Oh, you're stupid, you're a poo-poo head, you've done something wrong. Right. Hang on. So yeah, but no I haven't. I've literally set like the proper visibility and it has not changed, so I've done nothing wrong. Thank you very much. I've done no such thing. But yeah, like literally, when I've noticed on Xplane forum, whenever you get these newcomers on there, like people who just want some help with something, they just get this pedantic sort of like response from many members on there. Not everybody, obviously. There are some good people, but there are some idiots on there, like who just don't tolerate anyone. Just think they're stupid. Talk to them like they're stupid. And I've no doubt they know who they are. And yes, I am posting this video on Xplane forum. If any of them watch this video, they'll probably like try and get me banned, no doubt. Uh-oh. Anyway. Well, I just say what I think, you know, if people don't like it, that's their problem, to be honest with you. So, right, we'll turn the generators on, shut the APU off now. Okay guys, let's get this show on in the skies. The broken Xplane weather means I have no idea where the fuck I'm actually going. So I can't even see anything. This is 10 mile visibility, guys. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, so good. Oh my god. This is what Xplane is calling 10 mile visibility right now. Fantastic. So, runway 3 looks like our takeoff runway today. So once I get cruising, I'm going to change the weather to real world again and see if it's actually going to load it correctly. I don't have any hopes of that, but we can always hope so, can't we, kids? Right, so yeah, I'm in a bad mood today, as you can probably tell. It's been raining and stuff, and so yeah. Anyway, so right, let's see. Takeoff speed 143,165, and then up to 35,000 foot. Let's go, bitch. No, wait, hang on a minute. What takeoff thrust setting? Right, oh yeah, let's do 95%. So climb out speed is what, 165, yeah. I'll accelerate to 300. Flaps up. Speedball 300, as you can see, this is a very powerful, good plane. Very good and powerful jet. Already above the clouds, so there should not have been any, whatever that fog was, I couldn't even get rid of it, it didn't go away. I've blamed the Democrats. Well, anyway, we're now climbing 4,000 30,000 feet per minute. It's a good flight so far. Not that much of the flights has happened yet, it's what's happened. Can't believe that. It's 35,000. I think it's time to look outside now. It's a pretty broad window. I think it's really already needs to constant relax, trying to get sense. The company made 300 of these planes in 1970. Not Florida United, but the company makes the actual plane, obviously. Florida United is their main customer. So yeah, it's a nice plane, this one. It's powerful, it flies good, it handles nicely. Of all the planes I've made, this has actually had probably some of the most updates of all the planes I've done. And I've changed quite a few things on this a few times. Changed the wing, changed the tail, I think got changed at one point. The fuselage, the nose got changed. Quite a few things got changed, and there's also a version with higher bypass engines. always use 18,000 feet as transition altitude on here, even though that's not what they use in Europe, but I just use a standard number everywhere. There's no AI traffic on here, because it just causes technical problems and, yeah, people who say the airport doesn't look very busy because there are no planes there all year because the AI traffic program is not the most stable, so I don't tend to use it much. Still raining a bit outside, I mean in real life. Yeah, it's been a pretty rotten day here in old Blighty with plenty of rain this afternoon and that rubbish. Cruising at 35,000 feet and 0.77, but the climb speed before that when we hit Mach transition would be 0.76. 1276. We just passed the first intersection. cruising at 35,000 feet, 177 Mach number. And update the weather so that it can load real world weather for us. Hopefully it'll do it correctly. So, the weather expected in Palma de Mallorca. That's the weather there. Pressure is quite low there, 1007. We do have a 17 knots wind from the west to southwest. Come back to that later. So, what else is there to talk about with regards to this aeroplane? Not a lot really, I suppose. It has a similar panel to many of the other airliners we design because we like to keep commonality with the other aeroplanes. And a lot of that is through the instrumentation layout, for example. It may be noted that the instrument panel of this aeroplane is very similar to the one for the last aeroplane I flew, the 48-200. Except, of course, half the number of engine instruments because half the number of engines. Otherwise, it's virtually identical. Time for our card games. It's a really exciting game, Free Cell. I think if you don't agree, then you're probably not very bright. It really stimulates the mind. And goodness knows how many people need it. Indeed they do. Oh yes. It's not a game for thick people. Like the upstairs neighbour who thumps around at 4 o'clock in the morning. Where's the other two? It's right back. That's not so. What is it? There it is. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. It looks a bit dodgy, this, but I know what I'm doing. Breaking down that column. Now the pieces are coming together. Did you know that real airline pilots actually have to do free solo? Like they have to win like 10 games every day just to keep their license? I'm not joking. It's actually true because it keeps their brain like working properly. It's actually a requirement that they have to do this. And they have to win every game, except the one unwinnable game they can't play. That's actually one actually. All the others can. Anyway. Shut up, it's whatever. It looks like a risky move, but this is not a risky move. All these cars can go somewhere. That's what we're doing. Speed's going up a bit. Where are all the freaking queens at? Like, what the hell, man? That's actually causing the right balls up here. It's the fact that the queens are all buried. Proper buried. That's making this game very tough for me. It's a bit... Yeah, I think it's only yes. There's a 3 of hearts, there's 0 3 of hearts, and where is that? Seriously? This game is really annoying. Yes, it is. Shut up, don't tell me that. You want to play a game where, what's my stats? I've won 4 games in a row. Is that right? My win rate's 80%, so I reckon that's pretty good. I bet that's better than the average on Google on the internet. What's your free cell win rate? Someone says here that they played 100 games, 100 games, win percentage 100% rubbish. Clearly that's been photoshopped, I think, really. Terribly sorry about my meltdown before takeoff because of that low visibility, of course, which was obviously wrong, but now the weather, I think, is correct. And it's supposed to reflect real-world conditions. But we'll see about that on arrival, won't we? I know I do lose my temper a little bit, but I do try not to, but it's hard in a world full of idiots. Still bloody pouring down outside. My God, I've just been looking at this awful rain this afternoon. So much rain. I've got to do some, like, we've got to do some trail stuff on Monday. The trail is going to be so destroyed with mud and that crap on there. After all this heavy raining, I didn't think we were going to get as much as this today. It really has been a lot raining this afternoon. A dreadful day. Serious, I mean, tomorrow's going to be a rainy load of old shite as well, be serious. What a load of old codswallop. Did I mention how I'm also a real-world pilot, by the way, but I don't like to brag about it in my video titles, unlike some. Oh, well, anyway, I have 3 hours of flight time at the Cessna 150. I can't even fit in it, because it's so small, so I shouldn't be flying the Cessna 150 anyway. Because of my size and height and everything, I was too big for the Cessna 150 on my last flight. Piloting it, I nearly crashed a bit because there wasn't enough room for the controls and myself in there. And the instructor pilot was a fat man himself. I didn't enjoy flying the Cessna, I'll be honest with you. I think it made me sick. It bumped around, it was cramped, it was horrible. The instructor pilot was very rude as well. I actually had a bad instructor here. I mean, lots of people who are interested in getting into flying will talk about how they flew in some Cessna or something and they got the flying bug or something, they enjoyed it. I didn't. I had this terrible instructor. Awful. Like, it was my 3rd flying lesson. They made us do 50 exercises in 1 hour. And he started getting impatient because it was meant to be a VFR flight and the weather was coming in cloudy over. I was doing the checklist carefully and quite slowly because I was new in my 3rd hour only, and he kept yelling at me to hurry up. He said I was wasting everybody's time and he was just making these rude comments. I was only 16 then, I think, so these days I think I would be a lot more outspoken with the instructor who's rude like that. I would have just said, look, we're going back to the ramp, mate. If you're going to talk to me like that, I'm not going to fly with you. Simple as that, you're rude. If you're going to tell me to hurry up, and I was not a confident person, I'm still not very confident, but as a teenager, I had very low confidence. I was just scared of fucking stuff up, so I didn't want to do anything wrong, so I was doing it slowly and carefully. And, this guy was getting very impatient. And even though he could see that I was sort of a bit airsick at one point in the lesson, I don't know if he was joking or being serious, but he was like, oh right, let's practice some stalls, and I was like, no thanks. Because it was already very bumpy and I was already feeling quite sick, so I think he was just being a dick, basically. I don't know if he just found it funny, but he was a complete prick. And I know it sounds mean to talk about people like that, but there are good guys and there are bad guys in the world. I mean, you're either one or the other. You never know. That guy was just a complete prick. He was trying to force exercises that should have took an hour each and forcing loads into 1 hour. And he acted like a complete dickhead. To be quite honest with you, I think not only do I not like small single-engine planes, but I also didn't like... Well, because of that experience, I think he put me off learning to fly anyway, to be quite honest. I'm not really that interested anymore. I prefer the design aspect of planes. But he was just a complete arsehole. I'm not going to say who he was or anything, obviously, because I only had 2 lessons with him anyway. And it was a long time ago, talking more than 20 years ago now. He could be dead now for all I know. Oh well. I know it sounds like I'm talking badly about somebody, but I will talk fairly about people, whether they're alive or dead, doesn't matter. If someone treats you with respect, that's good. If they don't, then that's not good, and they're going to get talked fairly about. So I like to think I'm fair in my assessment of people, and I think, you know, I give credit where credit's due, and I talk fair about people who are idiots. And it's the same with literally anybody. I don't care what money they've got, I don't care how much experience they've got, I don't care about how many flying hours they've got, I don't care whether, anything like that. That doesn't matter. What matters is how you treat people, are you respectful, or are you not? Are you just a dickhead? Unfortunately, in this world, a lot of people are just dickheads and are not very decent. There's a lot of older men in particular that seem to like to call themselves curmudgeons or whatever, as if it's like a fashion statement. As if, oh, I'm just going to behave like a misanthrope to people because it's like funny, it's my thing that I do, you know. It's just sad, just grow up, like, you know. Why do you need some self-styled identity as being some crotchety old man? Why not just be a decent human being? Is it really that hard? Just grow the fuck up. You know, just be a normal, natural person. I just think that these kinds of people who are very blunt and rude and sort of have this attitude and sarcastic and everything. I know I can be when I'm being silly on these videos, yeah, but when I'm being like serious or interacting with people, there's no place for that shit. Just interact decently with people and you'll get decency in return usually. Not always, but, you know. Like I said, many people aren't decent. Treat people the way you want to be treated, because that's so hard. The Xplane forum could do with some of that. And also, so could a lot of flight instructors I've encountered. I mean, not all of them. But there was that one, there was that one in particular, yeah. It's just a rotten egg, basically. But, you know, whatever. The thing is, people everywhere, you get people who are not innocent, people who are decent no matter where you go, whether it's neighbours, whether it's people at work or in the family even. And the best thing you can do personally is to not be one of those people yourself, and you know what to do. People know, trust me, people know better. Let's talk about my upstairs neighbour who's a complete prick, right, because he is. He thinks it's acceptable to build flat-pack furniture at 4 o'clock in the morning and wake people up. And then when you go up there and see what's going on and even offer to help him, he calls you a wanker. Because you had the audacity to mention that he was making noise at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I don't know about you, mate, but I think that makes you the wanker, not me. If you want to do something like that, you should go and move into a fucking mansion or somewhere, or maybe in a ditch, or under an underpass. Because if you want to live in an apartment building, you have to respect that people sleep at night. Even if you don't, other people do. But this guy's a complete fucking pleb who basically just likes to make a bunch of noise. Wake people up at 4 o'clock in the morning like it doesn't matter. And I talked to him so politely as well. I was just like, oh, you know, is it okay if you can just keep the noise down? And he's still, people don't care because they just want to do whatever the hell they think they get the right to do whenever they want to do it. Every single time, doesn't matter how you talk to them, people will just double down and they'll be like, no, I'm going to do what I want. Well, then you're just a piece of shit. You know, that's what you are. I don't like having to say that about people. At the end of the day, it'd be nice if everybody just treated people the way they want to be treated, but if you have no consideration for your actions and you just like to do what you want when you want, regardless of how it impacts other people, you are a piece of shit. Like, seriously, that's what you are. Right, so how are we doing here? So yeah, just treat people the way you want to be treated, everybody. This has been a good lesson on morals today, I know, hasn't it? So, in today's flight, we do talk about serious subjects sometimes, of course, I think the real problem is so many people just have a lack of awareness in general. They're operating on a very low level of consciousness. They don't really consider their actions and their behaviour. They can't see things from other people's points of view. Like, I'm supposed to be autistic apparently, but I'm the one who seems to be more capable of seeing things from other people's points of view than they do from my point of view. Like these idiots who think they can make a lot of noise whenever they want, or these idiots who want to be sarcastic and rude when you're not feeling confident. These people who force you to do this, that or the other. You people just have no consideration for anyone else. You are selfish blighters. It's a real shame because I would like everybody I encounter in life to be decent and respectful, just like I like to be to other people. How hard is it? Like, really? It's not hard at all, it just takes consistency and awareness. These people don't have it. They're little better than animals, like a dog. A dog doesn't have any awareness. It's like it has no higher cognitive abilities, Yes, you can train it to some degree through association with treats or whatever, but you can't teach it moral lessons. There's some people out there who are just the same, like they don't learn anything, no matter what, like unless you reward them in some way, but that shouldn't be necessary for a human being. A human being should just know that they have a responsibility to respect others. The way I say it is like this, like, respect is something you give to people and then you get it back. I've never really agreed with the old statement that respect must be earned. What do you mean? You mean you're not going to treat people with respect until they've earned it? Just treat people with respect anyway. Just be a decent person. Otherwise you're just an asshole. People don't need to earn respect, man. People just need to be treated with respect, because then you get respect back. It's like, that's how life works. Life's like a mirror. You get back what you put into it. In fact, actually, I've learned in life that the worst people are the people who should probably be the most respectful towards, because otherwise the consequences tend to be even worse. Like, you'd respect a tiger or a lion, wouldn't you? Because you know that they're vicious creatures, but you should respect a hostile person, because actually it'll come off all the worse for you if you don't. I'm not saying you have to tolerate them, but I'm saying that you have to have a healthy respect for them. So you've got no time for some of these rude-ass chimps that hang around like they think they're people, but they're really just monkeys in disguise, aren't they? Pathetic. Now then, so where are we? Coming into Palma de Mallorca, we're going to have runway 24 approach, because of a strong southwesterly wind. So I think this plane is really good, yeah, definitely a good plane. This plane is, would have been, if this plane had been introduced in 1970, it would have immediately just flattened the 727, because this is immediately a more efficient and better performing plane, like, I mean, fuel burn wise. It's burning about the same fuel per engine as a 727, but with the same passengers, but with 2 engines instead of 3, so it's actually pretty efficient. But in the 60s, when they designed the 727, everybody was obsessed with speed. And this plane is obviously slower than a 727. But it's a lot more economical, and what's really the speed difference on a flight to 500 miles? You might save a couple of minutes by flying with 20% more fuel burn. It makes no sense. So the 727, in my opinion, was like a problem in that it didn't have the efficiency for the kind of flights it did, really. I mean, it sold a huge number of planes here, but this is because you have to remember that fuel prices increased in the 70s, and that's when twin jets got more popular. So I guess in the 60s they thought it was okay to have a very inefficient plane like the 727, but, you know, when the fuel crisis hit and everything, it got very expensive. And this plane is definitely would have knocked it out of the park, man. Because engines like this did actually exist at the time as well. Like, they had the engines in this thrust range, like 22,000 pounds of thrust on the VC-10 and other planes. But fixing it to a kind of slower airframe for a 2-engined medium-range plane like this would have been more efficient than a 727. So this plane really is the bee's knees. This is where it's at for 1970s technology. This is about the apex of that performance. Because all the figures put in, when I say 70s technology, the engine design on this plane and Xplane is all done basically as a contemporary 1970s low bypass turbofan engine. So it has all the same specific fuel consumption figures, and all of those numbers are all correct for a very low bypass ratio jet engine. So it looks like we're going to be descending probably about 20 or 30 miles after all this intersection, because we do have a downwind to do. So about 60 or 70 miles from Palma de Mallorca we'll begin descending, I think. So yeah, this plane is burning in about a third less fuel an hour than the 727, and only going about maybe 5% slower. And that's with the same kind of low bypass jet engines. The reason is very simple. Drag increases with the square of your speed, and thrust required increases with the cube of your speed. Is that right? No, power required increases with the cube of speed, sorry, not thrust. I'm remembering this from like some sort of calculation for biking. Like on a bicycle, if you go like 20 miles an hour to 15 miles an hour, it's like twice as much power required because the drag increases with the square of your speed, but the power increases with the cube of your speed on a bike, that is. I mean, in a plane it should be theoretically the same, but I think obviously thrust is equal to drag, so of course then the thrust must increase by the square of the speed as well. But I guess the faster you go, the more power that would equal in, as well, so there's no direct relationship between the thrust and horsepower, so I guess it's not that straightforward then. But theoretically the power must increase with the square with the cube of the speed. Anyway, I could be talking complete bullshit if you can tell me if I'm wrong. But that's one of the reasons why all these planes that were designed to fly like much faster on short flights like the 727 with such fuel hogs, because just a bit faster equals that much more fuel burn. If you fly 4% faster, you don't get 4% more fuel burn, you get way more percent fuel burn, like 16% more fuel burn or something. Like when you ride a bicycle, ride the bike at 20 miles an hour compared to 15 miles an hour, you would need like twice as much power. I think it's even more than twice, like 3 times the power, something like that. That's why riding a bike consistently faster is so freaking hard, man. Like I did some sort of bike rides where I was doing a consistent speed of 11 miles an hour for 3 hours. Not too much effort, but cycling at 13 miles an hour for 3 hours is very intense compared to cycling at 11 miles an hour for 3 hours. It's not just a 10% increase or 20% increase or whatever in power, it's like 50% increase in power. So it's supposed to rain all evening, all night, and all day tomorrow. What the hell? Did we lose war? What the hell is this? Absolute bullshit. Oh, I don't want to see Rachel Reeves' horrible urchin face get off on screen. Someone cut her head off. Honestly, I hate politicians anyway, but these current lot are the worst bunch of freaks we've ever had. Seriously, they're literally just the worst bunch of absolute freaks, man. They're a morally destitute bunch of absolute clowns. This Labour Party. I think they should all have their heads cut off. I'm saying this on a video on YouTube, so it will obviously not get monetized if I had enough subscribers to be monetized. Which I don't, so it doesn't matter. So we're about to intercept all this now. We are going to begin to descend in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to lip smack with the Albert to a millwall. So yeah, so so the weather in Palma de Mallorca was 17 knots southwesterly wind, if I remember correctly, 1,007 pressure. So that was what it said on our METAR, I think. METAR said that. So we're going to put in 1,007 in the altimeter, flight level 180. It's weird interference on the headphones, upstairs neighbours doing something. Anyway, back to the subject. So basically, obviously on here I use the altitude of 18,000 feet, flight level 180, regardless of location. Weather then. Temperature has gone down to 16 degrees, but otherwise it's going to be similar wind conditions. So set our target altitude in. I will initially descend to 6,000 feet. Probably using speed hold mode. Speeding mode, yeah. Well, I know. Well, I know. Yes, well, I know. Right, 3 holes, yes, that's good. Wind has actually dropped to 14 knots, which is a bit better. That does mean it won't be as windy. The conditions definitely look better. The visibility is better. There are a few clouds, which is better. And it's overall better. So I'm glad about that. Yes, I am. I'm very glad about that, I am. think we do a visual approach here, owing to the excellent visibility that we're expecting, and the few clouds. See the airport now already. No hurry to descend, we have plenty of time because we have a downwind leg to do. It's runway 24. Pressure 1007 on there as well. Corroboration with the metal there on this side. Yeah, pressure 1007. I think it's always just in the way. I know the terrain is higher on that side, so I'll go do a downwind on the other side, I think. Just to have some height to kill off with it. What the heck? Speed brakes on the wing there. I think I'll land on runway 24 right. Here it is. Yep, that's where we're landing today. Top of it. Well, this plane is very big, isn't it, compared to the airport? Jesus, it's like as wide as the whole thing. Oh my goodness. Look at that, the visibility's coming in down. Ridiculous, man. Take me downwind, I think, 10 miles. a faking moron. I didn't even put the strobe lights on. Damn. Something I forgot to do. Well, here we are, folks. Folks, here we are, folks. Now get the F off my plane. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. And yeah, I've got the AI traffic off because it crashes the sim, so yeah, can't be bothered with that sort of nonsense. No doubt, of course, if it crashes the sim, it'll be my fault, you know. It'll be my fault for being an idiot. An idiot computer operator.